Hello everyone, this is Shadow Dragon from the DCUO community. Now putting together a base could be pretty overwhelming and tedious, so I wanted to put together a video to show what I do when I first get a base. So I had a whole bunch of items from the Starro event left over, so I just dumped all the excess ones on one of my bank alts. And there's enough to build a full-size base too. Originally I was thinking dive, but there were just way too many items. So this is by no means complete. And in fact it's the opposite. This is just getting started. Like I just placed items, but none of them are in the final position. I didn't rotate or line anything up. This is purely just to kind of brainstorm. It acts as a sketch in 3D. So what I usually do is I think about like how I want to divide the place. This is going to be like a Starro Lab / Metropolis University classroom, or there's going to be multiple classrooms. So I got like the divider items and I placed them roughly where they might occur. Got the police lockers and then some leftover St. Patrick's Day dividers. Some of the things to consider are like where the columns are and the size of each room. Like for example, this space is larger than this space. So if I have more of like this type of item, it's going to go in this room, and I only have 4 of these, so it's going to go in the smaller room. And I'm also placing things just to get like a visual count. So I know I want a lot of these workshop stools, so I just placed all of them. These are all the ones in my inventory, just so I could see what I have. And that way when I'm in this space I know what I'm missing as well. So in this room I'm just color matching the Starro dissection tables, mixing 2 different types here. And then the items that I have less of go into the alcove. Again, I'm matching the colors, so these are the purple and blue ones. And then I have 4 of, I don't remember what this one is called. Maybe this is the tooth specimen or something, but I have 4 of those. More purple wall items. And moving up to this landing, I just put the drained Starros here, like the light blue ones. And things tend to look better when they're like color matched or exactly the same item. They just look good together. So this is another small space where I have only 3 of these items, the heat experiment with the purple Starro. And again, dividing up the place. And by the main frame I'm putting all the tech items, so I'm grouping by item type. And also, this is going to vary by theme, but there are going to be walls that you can't color. So in the penthouse theme, these walls are color locked to white. So I placed a couple of items that have like a white background and then like accented colors. This magenta and purple as an accent. Top floor, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with yet. And obviously all these could move around when I actually get to building this. So I'm really just grouping items. Like these could end up downstairs, but I really have like no plan for the upstairs, so I just dumped all these excess tables here. Different themes will also have like fixed patterns in the floor, and you can use these to highlight like a centerpiece, such as like this penguin fossil in the middle of this black rectangle. Again, on this side, color matching the white with the white frame. In Penthouse, you'll have some walls color locked to gold. So I'm putting like the gold frame paintings here. And again, repeating the gold, some of the St. Patrick's Day hanging coins. And another technique I use, which you'll see in this lower level here. Now these items I'll likely not be using in this base, but I just wanted to put it down here as a demonstration. Like in a lot of bases, I'll group things by color because like same colored items or similar colored items will tend to look better together. So when I'm building a room, I'll want to limit items to about 1 to 3 colors. And on this character, I previously built like a Green Lantern Mogo base, so there's just a whole lot of extra green items. So when you're collecting items to build a base, you're going to want like more than you're actually going to use, because that way you have some room to play around and experiment. And I think I went overboard with these gear lockers, because I have way more than I'm using. And this corner I'm just grouping by item type again. These are just excess spring items that I may or may not use. And in this room near the generator, I'm thinking of doing something with the hatcheries and hydrothermal vents. And I had some extra grates here for water drainage. And some extra wall starros. Now the blue ones were more common, and they do happen to match the hatcheries a bit more, because the water of the hatcheries goes along with the blue of these drained starros. And then of course the largest room has like the most common item. So it'll be the largest classroom. And a whole bunch of extra purple and magenta wall items. And using the alcove as a closet, so I just put all the specimen duplicates here. Yeah, so the idea of this is mostly just grouping stuff, so you sort of have a sketch of what you want to do. Now over here in the mid-level, I just have like 3 of these items that look like they don't go together. But they're not actually base items, or they are, but I'm not using them as base items. These are actually going to be tools that I use in every base, and especially the league halls, because those have like a larger area where you don't have things on the floor and wall that can help you measure. So it would be a nice quality of life thing to have actual measuring tools in decoration mode, but since we don't, I use these 3 items as a workaround. So first of all, any like long divider item will do well as a ruler. So if you want to measure like a similar length away from an object, you would use something like the pub bar divider. Another good one, and I don't have an extra on available currently on this character. It's probably being used in the other base, but there's also a vernal spring divider. That's it's about the same length as this, but see, this one has a pivot point in the middle, but the spring one swings from one of the sides, so it'll make like a nice like rotation. Could also act as a compass. And any large square or rectangular item on the floor can act as a T-square, because it's got those 90-degree angles for you. So let me see if I have a lot of something so I could demonstrate that. So if I wanted to make a corner, with with these items. Let's see, this is the case. And there you go, that's the perfect 90-degree angle. Now the best tool is this ritual circle from Halloween. Let me actually replace that so that it's perfectly evened up. Yeah, so this base item acts as multiple tools. It can be a compass, protractor, and T-square. Because it's got this cross in the middle for the T-square. And since it's 90 degrees, you can easily see, like, you can easily draw like a 45 degree. Or any other division of 90. And then since it's got the two concentric circles, and actually the middle one too, it does act as a compass. So I do have 8 gear lockers on place, so we can demonstrate with this. So I would first line it up with the cross. And then now we're going to hit the 45 degree ones. Now I'm also going quick with this, but if you spend like a lot of time going down to the pixel, you can really make this look seamless. So let's take a look at the quick and dirty circle, or octagon I should say. So that's not bad. It's definitely much better than it would be if I didn't have that ritual circle in the middle. And obviously when you're done doing the measuring, you just remove the item. And these 3 tools are especially useful in league halls where you have like a huge space. So like in a league hall, like you don't have, like if you're in the middle of a room, you're not going to have a reference. Like you might be far away from the wall or from one of the floor patterns. So sometimes you'll need to place like a circle or a rectangle just to help you out. And you could also use these tools in combination. Like obviously for a league hall, using the circle is like, it's too small. So you might want to use like the circle in combination with a divider. Like measuring a divider length out away from the circle. Then kind of place your item like here at the end. And then you would again move the divider over. And then place your next item. So if you do that 8 times, you'll end up with a really large circle. And it won't be perfect, but it'll be way more accurate than if you did the whole thing like straight by eye. And you could probably find similar items for the wall as well. I don't know if I have anything available on this character. The porthole is obviously a good circle. And there are a lot of rectangles, but you want to be careful to pick one that's flush to the wall, because a lot of these paintings angle out, like this Science Bar poster angles out. And same with this painting, but there are ones that are flush against the wall. So if you get one of those, it could be a T-square and a ruler if it's like one of the longer ones. I haven't had to do too much measuring for the ceiling, but I guess off the top of my head, a good square item is like the flush ceiling light, although that's kind of rare. What is that? What did I just place? Okay, medical ceiling light. No, that's not what it was. Okay, the shop light. Well, it's a little bit small, but it's a straight edge still. A good circle is the hanging theater light. I don't have one of those available, but it's a really big circle. It's almost the size of this square here. But same idea. I just think you'll be doing less measuring on the ceiling. Let's see what else. Door items are kind of useful too, just to make the place look bigger, conceptually. So there's the vault circuitries, there's a bunch from Amazon Fury 3, like the gates, the Zeus gates. Like one of them is a floor item, one is a wall item. There's the Wayne Manor doors, there's the Iceberg Lounge doors. Like those are good ways to kind of extend the look and feel of your base. And sometimes where you place them are going to vary depending on theme, because for the ones that are wall items, some themes don't allow you to let them touch the floor. Like there's like an edge at the bottom where it can't go beyond. And then for a lot of themes, there are places where you can't put the vault circuitry because it gets blocked by, say, like this beam here. So like in the penthouse theme, you can't center this on this wall. So yeah, definitely another thing to consider is the theme plus your items, although that's probably minor because you can always work around that. But like if you're going for a certain concept, it may not work in every theme. Like some themes don't have this column here, so you have like this big space for the top level where you can create like a porch without this interrupting column. In some themes, you have beams where you could place things on. So you could do some interesting things with that. So that's why it's good to kind of place everything and kind of brainstorm before you actually start measuring and putting things in the final position. Because if I came across a bottleneck here, I wouldn't be losing too much if I picked up everything and moved to a different theme. Because I didn't really do any work yet. Like none of these are even pivoted. They're just placed. And also, if you're working on this over like a long period of time, like when you do this, you're getting prestige for the walk-in, like for your league as well. Because yeah, let me see how many items I have placed. Yeah, like just haphazardly placing and grouping items, it's 245, so this is almost half of the 500 limit. So if I take a break and decide to continue this like months later on, like I'll still be able to walk in and get some free prestige for this. Yeah, so I think those are all the tips I could think of, at least to get started with a base. So I'll cut it off here, and I hope this was useful and gave you some ideas. So until the next video, thanks for watching.